let us create the project folder first. Let's call it to-do app. And open it on our Visual Studio Code. Once we're on Visual Studio Code, we can create a new file by clicking it. This will create a file under to-do app folder just now. Call it index.html. And we can start this project with a Bootstrap template. Just open up a browser and go to getbootstrap.com. I'm sure all of you are pro about this by now. Just go to the starter template, click copy, and paste it over. And before we move further, let us just ensure that this file works as it should. So let's go to our folder, open it up, and double click on index.html to see it on the browser. And there we have it, our starter Bootstrap template, as we expect. Okay, so now what we want to do is to ensure that our project have all the elements that the final app will have. So let's look at the final app. So it has one title, an input with a button, and a list with some icons over here. So let's do that. Let's make sure the title, let's make a div for all of this first, and then ensure that the title goes in the middle. So first, let's create a div. With Bootstrap, you know you have the class container to ensure that the margins are being handled by them. Put the title here and then ensure that it goes in the middle. Again, with Bootstrap, there's this class called text center that would supposedly make it centered. So let's see. This is the final app. This is ours. Okay, there we have it. So we have the title there. Perhaps we should change it to my to-do app. To-do app. Like that. So this is our app. This is the final product. Next, we need this input with a button. Let's go to Bootstrap. Simply search for input. And scroll down to find the one with a button. There we have it. We can find it. The first one is this. The second one, which we want, should be this. Copy it over and simply put it below our title. If you see that my code jumps, it's because I have a plugin that auto formats it. You don't have to worry if yours don't do that. But just make sure your indentation gets taken care of accordingly. So there we have it. Our second element. Now we have the title element and the input element. The next element that we need is the lists. So let's go to Bootstrap again and find for lists. And there we have it. Copy it. Paste it after the input tab. But if you look at this, it's getting quite messy now already. It might be hard for us to really put it at the right place. So let's do what's needed to ensure that we won't paste it wrongly. So first, this is the title. Then next, this is the input. This is a div that covers the input and the button. So it has to be after this. So let's put a space first and paste it here. So now it's clear that this is the title. This is the input with the button. And this is the list. And indent it properly. Save. Okay, so let's take a look at how it looks like currently. Perfect. So now we have the title, the input with button, and this list. Title, input with button, and the list. But if you look at this properly, the input here is quite big, which makes it more pleasing to the eye and easier for the users to write in. So we should make this slightly bigger. And in Bootstrap, they have a class for us to include in the input group so that it becomes bigger. So let's just search for it. Input. And this is the large one. You can take a look, and there we have it. The class input group large, LG, which makes it large. Let's add it in our input group. So let's take a look again. Input group large. Input group large. Save it and refresh our page. So that's much bigger. So that's exactly what we want. And what we left is the margin for this title. Clearly seen here that there's no margin top and bottom, whereas there is some here, and the wordings in the input and the button. So let's do the wording on the input and the button. To change that, we can simply change the placeholder here. Placeholder is what is reflected here. So let's change that to any pending tasks. We don't need this, so we can delete it. And for the button, let's look at what it is here. Add task. So we can change it here. Add task. Go back to our page and refresh it. So the other thing that we want to do is to ensure there's a margin top and bottom from this title, as can be seen in the final product. So to do that, we can either create our own CSS, but in this case, since we are already using Bootstrap, we can use their class. And to do margin top, it's simply empty margin top. 5 is the amount of cap that we want. It can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we also want a margin bottom of 5. Let's try that. And there we have it. It looks similar enough to me. Only thing is we're missing these icons. And I'll be showing you how you can get those icons and put it on the right in the next video.